Association and the U.S. Fire Administration provide 4 reasons for this year's message. Number 1, fire is fast. In less than 30 seconds, a small flame can turn into a major fire. Working smoke alarms cut the risk of dying in half. So this is the kickoff to Fire Prevention Week. It's an annual event where we focus on fire safety and assess the risk of the community and memorialize those that we have lost by laying a wreath at the foot of the memorial to fallen firefighters, as well as recognizing the events of 1871. There was so much devastation and death that ever since then, it's an annual reminder to educate the public and try to reduce the risk of death and injury due to fire. Fire is hot. If you inhale the super hot air in a home fire, it will scorch the insides of your lungs. Number 3, fire is dark. If you wake up to a fire, you may be blinded, disoriented, and unable to find your way around. And number 4, fire is deadly. The odorless, colorless flames from a home fire can lull you into a deep sleep. You may not wake up in time to escape. A home fire escape plan should have a map of your home's rooms, doors, and windows, identifying 2 ways out of each room, naming a meeting place for escaped family members, and a test to ensure all smoke alarms are operational. Escape practice starts with gathering your family, sounding the alarm, closing the doors behind you, crawling low under smoke, never going back inside, and heading to the meeting place to call 911. Knowing that fire is fast, hot, dark, and deadly, we encourage you to plan and practice your escape with your family.
We're also here to kick off Fire Prevention Week, which takes place from October 6th to October 13th. This year's theme is to plan and prepare. They say that not every hero wears a cape. Plan and practice your escape. It's fundamental that every house has an operational smoke alarm. Half of all fire deaths occur in homes where there is not an operational smoke alarm. And it's so important that if you are in Louisville and you call 311 and say, I don't have a smoke alarm, we will come out, we'll bring you one, and we'll install it ourselves to ensure that you're protected. Plan and practice your escape. You've got your family, you've got kids. You should have 2 ways out of every room. Little kids should know what a smoke alarm sounds like. They should know to close the door on their way out. It's fundamental to have a meeting place. It's essential because there are a lot of fire deaths when parents will go back into a house looking for their kid and they don't make it out. But the kid made it out, they just didn't know where they were. So it's important to meet with your family and designate an actual meeting spot outside where you can call 911. You can account for all your family, and as soon as the fire department gets there, they can get to business working on the fire. Now, if you can't account for your family members, we're going to go in until we find them. And it's very helpful for us if you can.
Well, it's great to be here at National Fire Prevention Week, not just to talk to folks about ways to make sure they don't have fires in their house, or if they do, how to get out fires in businesses, but to honor our fallen firefighters as well. We lost Sergeant Tim Groft here in the past couple years or so due to toxins that come as a result of battling fires. So that's been recognized in our firefighting industry as a real problem. So we just really appreciate the firefighters that run toward the problem, and while everybody else is running away. So when you think about the respect we have for all of our public safety officials, and in this week in particular as we focus on firefighters, you got to ask the question, what can I do to make sure firefighters aren't in harm's way? So whether it's your home, whether it's a business, what is your fire plan in case it occurs? If you have young people there and maybe you won't be able to get to them, what's their plan? Have at least 2 exits, have a meeting place also. Make sure that your fire alarms are in good shape. All these kind of basic things that sometimes people forget to do can go a long way to saving our firefighters' lives. Early detection is incredibly important in any kind of emergency response, and it's critically important with fire response. The quicker that we can get there to find out what the problem is, what the source of the fire is, the better. So again, that's why we encourage people to check their smoke detectors, make sure that they have operating smoke detectors, so that if there is a smoldering fire, you're notified immediately, you can get us over there. Fires are burning hotter than they ever have. They're growing faster than they ever have for a lot of different reasons, but part of that is the synthetic fibers that are in homes now. So, a home that you used to have more time to get out of, now you just have about 30 seconds. So the better early detection system that you have, the better your chance of survival, and the quicker that we're going to get there to help you and your family. Those 2 plans of escape are really important, and we encourage people to practice that as well. Practice that 1 time during the year when it's daylight outside and 1 time at night, just so people can get used to it. Once you're out, of course we encourage people to staying outside, call 911,
let the professionals come and respond. But most importantly, with it being Fire Prevention Week, of course, fire prevention, a quality fire prevention program is essential to the fire service. So we encourage people to, again, check your smoke detectors, make sure that you have at least one on every floor of the house. We'd like for you to have one in every bedroom and wherever you're sleeping. And just stay safe.
Chief Jones, the president of the County Fire Association, spoke about firefighters' mental health and the kind of toll seeing bad things can take on a person, and how essential it is that we recognize it in ourselves and others when we need help.
Good morning. My name is Adam Jones, Fire Chief, Representative of Jefferson County Fire. As we gather today to talk about fire prevention and remembering those members that have been lost, I'm going to speak of a preventative measure from a different standpoint. One thing that we cannot forget is the stress that goes back on our firefighters, EMS personnel, and police officers. Today I want to touch base on the prevention of negative effects of PTSD for our first responders. Last year, more firefighters, EMTs, and police officers died by suicide than they did in the line of duty. Our state last year established the Allen Chip Terry Professional Development and Wellness Program, which created a fund for the program's administration by the Kentucky Fire Commission. Thanks to the Kentucky Professional Firefighters, the IFF, and countless others throughout politics and the local community, this program was made possible to address PTSD in first responders. It's named after former Covington firefighter Chip Terry. He ended his life in 2017 after suffering from PTSD from job-related issues. First responders are often ignored and underappreciated for the many struggles that they struggle with day to day, and they struggle in silence. We often say to ourselves, if we ask for help, it's a sign of weakness. The Allen Chip Terry Professional Development and Wellness Program provides free training throughout the state to combat the effects of PTSD by equipping our first responders with tools to recognize not only within ourselves, but the negative effects of our brothers and sisters throughout this career and how we can prevent tragic outcomes. Please help us support our first responders by supporting us in our endeavors and to protect our communities. And remember that if you need to ask for help, please ask.
I'd like for people to remember also the trauma that firefighters go through when they're fighting fire, especially if there's victims of a fire. Nothing can quite prepare you for this. So we're seeing an increase in suicides amongst firefighting professionals around the country, just like we are with veterans and active military as well. So if you know somebody that's in firefighting, make sure they're working through their trauma okay. If there's not, there's a lot of help available for this. About 25% of Americans suffer from some type of mental health problem, so it's normal. And what we want people to get help as quickly as they can, and so they can be a hero for somebody else. When we see them asking for help, that will inspire others as well.
Thank you to everybody for joining us this morning. This concludes our ceremony. However, we invite and encourage everybody to stick around for some Firehouse chili. We have some chili that was whipped up by our Fire Prevention Bureau and some Jefferson County departments. It's going to be over here being served by them. So please stick around, enjoy some chili, enjoy lunch. Thank you again for joining us.